Hello, my name is Emike, and I'm going to be talking about what to do with an abusive partner. Now, I'm not talking about an abusive partner in marriage. If you are married and your partner is abusing you in any way, you need help, not just you. Your partner need most of the help. But I'm going to start praying for that woman, for that man who is in an abusive relationship. I am praying and trusting God that God in his infinite wisdom and mercy that you would find help. You will not remain in that bondage and die in that bondage, because anyone that is in an abusive relationship, they need help. And for that man, for that woman who is afraid to go seek help because you are afraid that you will be stigmatized, you will be shamed, I pray that God in his mercy will cause a miracle to happen in your relationship so that you will be helped. For that man, for that woman who is in an abusive relationship and then is thinking that God has forgotten me, or you are thinking that, well, this is my plight and this is how God wants it for me. That's not correct. It is not the will of God for any man or any woman to suffer in an abusive marriage. He created marriage to be blissful, to be beautiful. He did not create marriage so that anyone will suffer and die in it. That is a lie of the devil. And so today I am trusting God that you would find help in the troubled areas of your marriage. You will sincerely find help. Now, for that person that is yet to be married, but maybe you are engaged and you are planning to get married and you are seeing the signs that your partner is potentially abusive, I beg you, do not go into the marriage like that. Prayer is not going to work when you get into a relationship that you know your partner is potentially abusive. You need help before you both get married. And you see the mistake most of the time people make. The person who needs the most help is the partner that is abusive. So if you are engaged, or if you're planning to get married and you're already seeing signs that your partner is going to be abusive, you want to check it out by encouraging your partner to go get help. Now, the first sign that you would know that your partner is potentially abusive is the partner that is quick to want to get married, and they are forcing you to get married. I remember some time ago, a young lady came to me that she met a guy who she wanted to marry. Now, someone met you last month and today you just want to get married and forcing you to get married. Now, it is nothing wrong to have a short courtship, but that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about a man or a woman who has not known your family members, does not know your history, has not taken time to know you, where you're coming from, and they want to marry you. And they are just going to marry you regardless of whether they are going to meet your parent or not. Now, let me let you know, the fact that you get pregnant for a man does not make you his wife. It is not children or pregnancy that makes husband and wife, or the fact that you have moved from your parents' house or moved from wherever and start staying with a man does not make you his wife. And so if he beats you under that condition, it's likely going to get away with it because, well, you were never really committed, you were never really in a committed relationship. So instead of you giving yourself to someone that cheap, you want to get married in a proper way so that if it comes to a point where one person is being unreasonable, you can deal with it properly. So the first thing you want to look out for a partner that is potentially abusive is a partner that gets unnecessarily aggressive now that you are courting. The partner gets angry, and the minute he's angry, he does things that are way over the way he overreacts. Let me put it that way. He overreacts, and sometimes the partner overreacts. They can punch you, they can slap you, or they can even call you names. Now, that kind of person does not deserve your heart, does not deserve you staying with, because eventually, when you get married, they can get angry and they can beat you. Also, another sign that you can know that a partner is potentially abusive is a partner who have realistic expectation. Now, they just want something from you that you cannot give. For instance, you have a partner who knows that you have your own friends, your own same sex friend, and then the partner wants you to all of a sudden disconnect from your friends just because they have become your boyfriend, they have become your fiancé or your fiance, or they are going to be your husband. You cannot cut away from the people that have always been your friend, valuable friends. And you know the sad part, there are some partners who even come into your life, they want you to cut off from some family members. They just want you to themselves alone. Now some people think that that is romantic, because he cares about me, I want to be with him. Now that's not good. Because the truth is, if your partner can succeed in cutting you away from valuable relationships and friends, now the day you start experiencing abuse in your relationship, you will have no one to run to, because you would have cut everybody off, and so you will feel embarrassed, you will feel ashamed to go back to tell them that you are having issues in your relationship. I remember some time ago a young woman who came to me, because the guy she was engaged to at that time was abusing her. I really liked her because she was a pretty smart young girl, and so I told her to slow down so that the guy can get help before going into marriage. But she went into this relationship and just cut off. Now, about 8 months into the relationship, the abuse really started, and she wanted to get out of the marriage. Then she reached out to me, and first of all went apologizing. I'm sorry I didn't listen to you. For me, we could have avoided all of that if you have just postponed your wedding maybe by a few months, so that your guy can get counseling and then you can have a better partner. Now, most of the time, we get to that phase of love is blind, that we don't think that these things are going to migrate into something more serious. And so the question most people get to ask is, oh, now my husband or my wife is abusive. Have they always been like this, or was it the marriage that made them abusive? Now, no abusive partner becomes abusive overnight. Most of the time, it's something that have been there during childhood, is the way they have always been, and so it just comes out in full blown. So if you're beginning to see the sign right now, or you have a misunderstanding with your partner now in courtship, and just a misunderstanding, and the person is threatening you, now threat is a sign that that person would one day carry out that threat that they're talking about. If you're gonna get married, it is more than just what you feel on the inside. You also have to look at the person, where the person grew up from. Some of the time, a partner who grew up in an abusive situation, maybe their parents abused them, or maybe they watched one of their parents abusing the other. Now they can have the potential of being abusive if they don't get help. Now, some of these people don't necessarily have to go see counselors. Sometimes they read books, sometimes they watch TV programs, sometimes they listen to a pastor, and then they begin to unlearn some of those things that they have learned in the past and become better partner. Now, imagine someone who haven't unlearned. They will carry that same attitude into marriage. I'll tell you this. I remember a guy who said he cannot do without once in a while spanking his wife. Now, when I mean spank, I mean beating his wife or slapping her just to correct her. And he told me, I don't see anything wrong, because I grew up seeing my father sometimes, when he gets angry at my mother's misbehavior, he flogs her. And then they stayed together for that long. Let me tell you the truth. The fact that your dad did it, it does not mean that it is correct. Your dad acted in ignorance. Now you know. And it's very offensive. You cannot beat your wife because you think that you are correcting her. And these days, women are also beating men. Whether it's the man beating a woman or is the woman beating a man, none of this is correct. Now, I especially made this video for someone who is engaged, someone who is planning to get married. I beg you, do not shut your eyes against potentially abusive behavior. Because when you are married and you're putting your two knees on the ground to pray to God, it's not that God will not answer those prayers about your abusive partner, but first, when you have the chance now to make the right choice, please do. I am not saying destroy a beautiful relationship because of something your partner is struggling with. I am saying that if your partner needs to get help, and if they will not get help, then it's okay if you end the relationship than if you end your life in marriage. I pray for you that your marriage will be a blissful one. I am particularly looking forward to wedding invitation and beautiful marriage. God bless you.